Hey, how's it going, everyone? This is Mick, back here to do a Halloween Ends review. This will have spoilers, so forewarned. Halloween Ends stars Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie Strode, James Jude Courtney as Michael Myers, aka The Shape, Andy Matichak as Allison once again, Rowan Campbell as Corey Cunningham, and Will Patton is back as Officer Hawkins. So, where to get into this, man? It starts out with irritating music right from the get-go. The movie begins with a scene of one of the main characters, actually Corey Cunningham. He is babysitting a little boy who is a bit of a brat, and the boy ends up locking him in the attic way up on like the third floor of the house. So the babysitter is quite irritated with it and is trying to get out. He's pounding on the door and kicking the door in. And all the while, the little prick boy is on the outside of the door, like antagonizing him and just egging him on and all this stuff. Well, Corey ends up booting the door open and it slams open and it hits the little kid who's right out in front of the door and basically knocks the kid off of the railing down to the floor below 3 flights, and it kills him instantly. The guy Corey was not charged because it was considered involuntary manslaughter, but from there on out was considered like the town psycho. So from there, we go to some scenes with just like Laurie and her granddaughter Allison just talking about different things, pretty much inconsequential, just scene fillers in my opinion. Shows Allison driving to her job. She gets pulled over by her seemingly current boyfriend who is a cop and looks like he's about twice her age. Seems like he's a bit of a asshole. Maybe they're like on the outs getting ready to break up or something like that. So, Allison works for Haddonfield Memorial Hospital. And she is up for a big promotion, which she believes that she's going to get eventually here. So we'll move away from this for a little bit. And the other main character, Corey, I forget what he was doing. He was going into a gas station or something like that to get something. And he ends up bumping into some high school seniors who asked him to get some beer for them. He refuses. And they end up roughing him up, which I think is pretty funny, just because the one leader of the high school seniors gang or whatnot, and I use gang in quotations, he's like half the size of Corey, and like he's a complete bully to him, which is pretty funny. But be that as it may, Corey ends up squishing this bottle he has in his hand and cuts his hand open really bad. And then Laurie Strode just happens to be there and tells the kids to beat it and stuff like that, and ends up driving Corey to the hospital where her granddaughter is working so he can get, his hand fixed. Long story short, her granddaughter, Allison, falls for this guy. They end up falling in love, all this stuff. Corey ends up, basically, this is how this goes down. So Corey constantly got picked on by all these people, And another day they end up catching back up with Corey while he is walking home or something. So they pull up alongside of him and the big bully gets out of his car and starts talking shit. And then the other guy, holds him, and I forget how it really goes down, but it ends up where they crush his glasses, they step on him, and they end up throwing Corey like off the overpass, which isn't like a fall that far down. But be that as it may, they threw him off the overpass. He's like unconscious. And then like you see this, I don't know what it is, like a sewer drainage opening thing. And somebody like grabs his body and pulls him in there. So he wakes up, he's like underground under like the cities and the sewers and the tunnels and stuff like that. And he's like, where the hell am I? He's trying to walk out and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden he gets grabbed by Michael Myers. And Michael Myers is just choking him, And then he lets him go. So Corey walks out basically, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, he ends up getting possessed by Michael Myers. Oh my goodness. And let me just say, it was at least 30 minutes, at least, before you see Michael Myers the very first time. And it will be quite a while after that before you really see him again. So, as I said, Corey becomes possessed. He ends up becoming evil. He does like Michael's bidding for him. They tag team on some of them. I'm making this short and sweet because honestly, I didn't like this movie, as you could probably tell. Yeah, I just didn't think it was that good. So this is a strange dichotomy because Corey is overtaken by evil from the guy that basically murdered his girlfriend's family, but he still wants to have a relationship with Allison. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to kill her, which is like a strange thing. But yeah, so they end up having an encounter with their ex boyfriend at a restaurant. He's a dick. You know, Corey ends up just saying "fuck it" and leads the cop down to where Michael's staying at, and they kind of double team the guy and kill him. And you know, Allison, I'm just making this short and sweet. So if you want a really in-depth review, you're gonna have to listen to somebody else's. I'm just giving you the bullet points. Allison basically doesn't get her promotion at the hospital because the doctor's fucking the other lady who's supposed to be your friend and gives her the promotion instead. So then, you know, of course, her boyfriend has to make that right. So he ends up tag teaming them with Michael Myers at the house and they kill them. And yeah. So pretty soon, Laurie Strode starts realizing that he is, in fact, evil incarnate. He has it in him. And the guy ends up killing his mom. Who else does he get? Of course, he goes back for that group of kids who was bullying him, and he gets them really good. His dad ends up getting in the mix, but he didn't kill his dad. His dad just got shot in the line of fire. He gets a DJ. It's an interesting movie. The DJ that he killed was a big fan, and he cut his tongue off, so that was kind of a cool little scene. But after that, he decided to go for the big fish, being Laurie Strode. Went over there, tried to get her. Of course, she wasn't about to let that happen. Long story short, the guy ends up stabbing himself in the neck. You know, that's how he ended up doing himself in. Of course, you know, Michael Myers has to come back for the final scene. I'm just going to make this short and sweet. They have their scuffle. They have their fight. Laurie ends up doing him in. She kills him. After that, the entire town drives in a big, long, single file line to the junkyard. People are lined up on the streets, on the bridges, like it's a big parade. And they basically go to bring Michael Myers' dead carcass to the meat grinder, for a lack of a better word. And they stick him down in the thing, and that's the end. That's Halloween Ends. I'd never thought I would say this, but I have found a movie that is worse than Halloween Resurrection in the Halloween timeline. Well, I shouldn't say that because Resurrection was in the real timeline, which after this debacle, hopefully somebody will go back and right Blumhouse's wrongs, because Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends were awful. And that is just one guy's opinion. So if you enjoyed watching this, give it a thumbs up. Thank you. See you next time.